Cancer is a continuously growing global health problem that poses major challenges, most especially in developing countries. Find out how this international distributor of innovative health products came up with a series of solutions to help increase a patient's chance to survive the odds. In 2020, the Philippines hit a record of 354,398 prevalent cancer cases within a 5-year period. But because of poor access to health care, especially for people living below the poverty line, the advances and breakthroughs in cancer remain unattainable to many.
Cancer refers to a group of diseases that's characterized actually by cell growth, abnormal cell growth and proliferation, inflammation, as well as angiogenesis or formation of new blood vessels. It always starts with mutation in the genome or the genetic makeup of a person inside the cell. Before PPARs, most of my patients, they were unable to finish the chemotherapy regimens because of the side effects and because of discomfort during the process of chemotherapy.
Maria's son Dominic was diagnosed with stage 4 rhabdomyosarcoma when he was only 4 years old. While coping with the recovery of her other sick child, Maria found it hard to accept Dominic's condition.
It was actually very devastating kasi with Dominic, it was manifested mga 4 years old na siya. Unlike dun sa daughter ko na congenital talaga, baby pa lang. Yung mga bandang September, meron ng umuumbok-umbok dito sa leeg niya. Hindi ko talagang inisip na cancer kaagad siya until nag-nosebleed siya.
Dominic was prescribed chemotherapy, but his family insisted to rush to an integrative doctor to seek for alternative cure.
Medyo hesitant ako kasi as a mother, I know the side effects ng chemotherapy kasi. So what I did is that I rushed towards the integrative doctor of my daughter, who happened to be PPAR partner doctor of Simply Nature.
One of the hardest decisions to make for people living with cancer is choosing the kind of treatment that would work best. To help patients and their families deal with this growing health problem, one company commits to producing safe, credible, and natural health solutions by drawing on the latest bioscience technology to deliver a series of safe, efficient, and natural products. What is Simply Nature and what does it do?
Simply Nature is a company we created and founded about 10 years ago. Our mission is to find effective health solutions for people. So we provide natural products that work in combination with conventional therapy and medicine.
As an international company that provides natural solutions for cancer, metabolic syndrome, and degenerative diseases, the management upholds a health philosophy that centers on whole food nutrition as the frontier in health management.
When we talk about choosing treatment, especially in the area of cancer, patients are really afraid of chemotherapy because of its side effects, and they tend to then look towards natural products. But this is not either conventional or natural choice. At Simply Nature, patients can have the best of both worlds. Our protocols work with conventional chemotherapy to minimize its side effects so that they can get the best treatment using both conventional and natural together.
Cancer is like a virus. It continuously evolves, it mutates, so it can develop defenses against our usual treatment modalities like chemotherapy.
Like I said, chemotherapy and radiation therapy have a lot of side effects. So more often than not, patients stop their treatment because of these side effects. It's very important to have the support.
With the supplements that we give the patients, there will be lesser side effects, so they will be able to finish their chemotherapy protocols more comfortably.
This company introduced PPARs, which is touted as one of the best natural ways of solving serious health problems.
PPARs stands for peroxisome proliferator activating receptors. It's basically a nuclear receptor found inside the cells. Now, when these receptors are activated, the benefit that you can get from that is, number 1, cellular differentiation. Number 2, it's to promote fatty acid metabolism. If you have better insulin function, your blood sugar will naturally go down. And another one is to induce cancer cell death by modulating the immune system.
As a sole distributor of PPARs, the company promotes its use to many reputable health institutions worldwide and actively organizes corporate health conferences and public health talks in Asia.
Simply Nature PPARs is made out of a special strain of these types of microalgae. It is very effective by protecting the bone marrow. We maintain the integrity of the immune system of the patient, which is very important to prevent infections and to fight off the cancer itself. And also, Simply Nature PPARs is also very dense in nutrients so that the patient can recover faster because of better cellular healing.
Sabi ko parang na-lead kami to an extraordinary and I must say amazing journey. I'm very proud of him. At a young age, na 8 years old, he believed that it's his purpose to siguro encourage other people then. We would like to really pay it forward with the knowledge that there's really, like Simply Nature, that can help people with cancer very much.
When fighting cancer, living healthy is very important because it allows us to pursue what is important to us in life, and that's what it's all about. When we can help a patient move from being bedridden to getting up, to be lucid in thought so that they can have conversations with their loved ones, it gives the whole process of fighting cancer a whole new meaning. And that is what drives us at Simply Nature.
Talagang sobrang sakit. Sumusuka na ako. Tapos sa work ko rin, hindi ko na kaya talagang mag-isip. Dumating ako sa point na nawala na din daw ako ng malay. Then, nakilala ko si Sir Shyan. Meron silang ganung product. Effect sa akin ng supplement na to is malakas ako. Kahit nagkikimo ako, nagre-radiation ako. Hindi ko naranasan yung mga naranasan ng other patient na nagsusuka, nanghihina, walang ganang kumain. My name is Saida C. Gomez, 48 years old. I live in Quezon City. Currently work is a property manager. Diagnosed sa akin is breast cancer no year 2019. After 2.5 years, is recurrent na siya for stage 4. Affected na yung brain, then lungs and liver. Kumalat na siya. Yung symptoms na naramdaman ko is talagang sobrang sakit ng ulo ko. Gumising ako, parang sumusuka na ako. Tapos yung umiiba-iba yung way ng walk ko. Talagang as in, vomit dito, vomit dun. Tapos sa work ko rin, talagang hindi ko na kaya talagang mag-isip. Parang lagi akong masakit talaga ang ulo. Na dumating ako sa point na nawala na din daw ako ng malay. Sabi ng mga kasama ko doon. Inaakay na nila ako. Then, yung pinakamatindi is yung dito na sa bahay na talagang inaano ko nung husband ko na ginigising ako pero talagang ayaw kong gumising. Kaya dinala na niya ako ng ER. Tapos doon na sila nag-test. Nagising na nga lang ako, nasa room na. Parang minuto na nga lang, wala na ako. Kasi talagang yung namamagana, swollen niya yung brain ko. Nang ma-diagnose ako ng 2019 na I have a tumor, bukol, hindi ako nagpa-chemo. Basta it's natural, concentrate ako sa natural. Then, after ng 3 months, sabi nila, is kailangan ko na daw ipatanggal. So, hindi na siya babalik. So, pumunta ako ng hospital, natanggal naman siya, then, still, natural pa rin na product na aking tinitake. Pero, bumalik siya. Stage 4 na. Kasi nga affected na yung brain ko, lungs, liver. Actually, may ano na siya, sign na para sa bone. Yun yung mga nakita sa CT scan ko. Then, nakilala ko si Sir Shyan na meron silang ganung product. PPARs na powder and tablets. Yun yung trinay ko habang nag-start na ako ng radiation ng 18. May, nag-chemo na ako. Natapos ko yung radiation ko for 10 session. So, okay yung effect. Nakayanan ko siya. May, nag-start na rin ako ng chemo para dun sa lungs and liver ko. And yung abdominal, kasama na rin siya. Every 21 days, 3 days yung aking chemo. With the help talaga nung Simply Nature, hindi ko naranasan yung nakikita ko sa mga kasabayan kong nagkikimo na nagsusuka, sumasakit, giniginaw, may mga ganun, tapos parang hindi talaga sila makakain. Minsan nga, hindi nila natatapos yung treatment nila. Pero ako, natatapos ko siya, is 3 days pa, na ang recommended sa akin is dapat naka-admit ako ng 3 days. Since tight lang din ako sa budget, is nag-decide na lang ako mag-uwian. Kasi strong ako, kaya ko. The following month ulit, nakaya ko siya ng hanggang 5 cycle. Di ako nagsusuka, nagugas ng plato, may konti akong pinagkakabalhang tindahan. So, nagagawa ko. When I was diagnosed sa stage 4 cancer, I cried, of course. Hindi mo naman may iwasan yun. Pero I never felt na hindi ko kakayanin. Parang kailangan ko lakasan ng loob ko para sa family ko, lalo na sa mga bata, sa mga anak ko, maliliit pa sila. Yung husband ko, naiyak siya, syempre. Pero nung makita niya akong lalaban ako, parang nadagdagan yung fighting spirit niya na talagang lalabanan natin to, mami, sabi niya ganun. Narinig ko nga sinabi ng doktor na less than a year ako, pero hindi ako kinabahan. Tinitake ko is T-Pars powder, 2 scoop, nilalagay ko siya sa ilalim ng dila para ako matulog. Then 15 tablets every morning, empty stomach. Then sa afternoon din, 15 din ulit. Bumibili rin ako ng cleansing para panglinis. During chemo, radiation, ginagamit ko siya. Effect sa akin ng product, ng supplement na to is malakas ako. Kahit yung nagki-chemo ako, nagre-radiation ako, hindi ako nanghihina. Kaya kong bumalik sa normal na kilos ko after ng chemotherapy ko. Happy ako sa mga result kasi after 3 months, pinag-CT scan na nga nila ako at saka MRI. Good yung development. Nabawasan lahat yung mga measurement. Siguro yun yung effect talaga ng supplement na tinitake ko. This month is naka-evaluation. PET scan na po ako. Happy ako dun sa result ng CT scan at saka MRI. Kasi nga, yung sa MRI ko, yung sa brain is from 1.09 naging 0.08 na lang siya yung measurement niya. Then yung sa lungs ko, which is yung chest scan ko, is 9.05 naging 4.05 na lang. I will recommend Simply Nature to other cancer patient kasi it's very effective for me. Kahit nag-treatment ka at tinitake mo yun, hindi ko naranasan yung mga naranasan ng other patient na nagsusuka, nanghihina, then walang ganang kumain. Hi, I'm Saida Gomez. I have stage 4 breast cancer, metastasis for the brain, lungs, liver, abdominal, and bone. Thanks to Simply Nature, I'm okay now. And I trust Simply Nature.
Hello and good evening, everybody. My name is Sheila, and you are watching another episode of Simply Nature Webinar, your long-time running healthcare awareness webinar here in social media. Tonight's topic is a question frequently asked by our patients, and this is titled, What to Eat and Not to Eat. The role of cancer nutrition in cancer management. We appreciate each and every one of you for watching and registering to this webinar and for sharing this online event to your friends and loved ones. So we would love to know where you are watching us from. Tonight's topic will enlighten us about the pivotal role of nutrition plays in the lives of those affected by cancer. In the midst of this transformative event or topic, we will delve into the details of a diet that not only complements medical treatment, but also fosters strength, resilience, and improved quality of life. To start of our discussion for tonight, I'd like to call on a successful entrepreneur who is also a seasoned speaker of a wide range of topics from personal success to healthcare. Our CEO and the founding director of Simply Nature International, Mr. Shyan Lim. Good evening,
Hi,
Sir Shyan.
Hi, Sheila. Good evening, everybody. Sheila, which episode are we on today? I think 130 or something like that.
Around like that, sir. I have to confirm that.
Okay. Anyway, we are one of the longest running TV program, not TV program, Facebook Live program, and streaming also on YouTube. So it's almost 130 episodes. We've been doing every Thursday, 7:30. So please remember this time, please share. Tonight, we're going to have a very interesting topic, which is cancer. And anybody who has gotten cancer or whose loved one has gotten cancer, one of the common questions we ask the doctor is, what can I eat? Unfortunately, this is one answer. Many doctors are not able to give a comprehensive answer because they are specialists in treating the cancer, but not what you should eat when you get cancer, or how you should eat to prevent yourself from getting cancer. So tonight is a special treat. Dr. Jansen will discuss about that. And stay tuned with us because around 7:50, right, we will go into our AMA, which is Ask Me Anything segment. Those of you who are familiar with this segment, you can ask any questions you want. And I can already see on the chat, people are asking about questions about the drugs they're eating and what they have, and many other questions. So I think without further ado, I'll hand the time back to Sheila as she introduces Dr. Jansen.
Thank you, Shyan. By the way, just to let everybody know, this program is powered by Simply Nature International and MG, or Simply Health Medical Group. So just before we introduce the next speaker, please know that we will be having what we call AMA, or Ask Me Anything portion, as mentioned by Sir Shyan. So yes, questions are very much welcome. So please drop them down on the comment section. And yes, opo, kahit Tagalog, you can also type down. Don't worry. Our experts tonight are able to speak in Tagalog as well, okay? All right, to start off our discussion for tonight's topic, and of course, with the help of his patient case presentation, let's welcome Dr. Jansen Lim, a graduate of St. Luke's Medical Center, College of Medicine in 2016. And in 2019, he was conferred as a diplomate of an International Board of Lifestyle Medicine and Philippine College of Lifestyle Medicine. He is also president of Simply and a consultant at Alta Integrative Medicine and Wellness Complex at Perpetual Health Medical Center, Las Piñas, where he manages patients with cancer and metabolic illness. Please, let's all watch this.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Simply Healed. And today, we have Dr. Jansen with us again.
Hello everyone, hello Shyan, glad to be here again, and hello everybody.
Today, we're going to talk about Dr. Jansen's expertise, which is what everybody keeps asking us every Thursday. Doc, can I eat this? Can I eat that? What can I not eat? And Doc, we have had so many feedbacks from your patients telling feedback to you, to our healthcare specialists, that what their uncles told them they can or cannot eat.
Yeah.
So today, we are going to tackle this topic called cancer nutrition management. So Doc, what can or can we not eat? Doc, I mean, our healthcare specialist shares with me that many of our patients tell us that their uncles tell them they can eat anything they want, barbecue, pork, beef. So why do uncles tell us that we can eat anything?
I think it's because of it's because of how we were trained, no? Back then, when I was still in medical school, freshly graduated from medical school before I met lifestyle medicine, what the oncos have been prescribing you, the food that they have been prescribing you, that would be the same food that I would be telling you to eat. I mean, there would be no restriction as long as you take your meds, then you're fine.
Yeah, the conventional theory is as long as you take your medicine, you can eat anything you want. But I want to challenge any viewer out there, right? If you are having a severe cough and fever, and you are taking your medication, try eating chocolates and see whether your cough gets good or bad. Try eating fried chicken while you're having a fever and tell me if you don't feel worse after that. So we know for a fact that it's true, our food does have an impact on our health. So, and lifestyle medicine is the newest kid on the block, right? It's the latest development in medicine.
Yeah, it's actually been recently accredited by the Philippine Medical Association. So it's a new subspecialty. It's a new specialty in medicine here in the Philippines. Okay.
So that means that everything that Dr. Jansen is sharing is the latest and most updated. So as you know, many of our doctors are, and especially specialists like oncologists, surgeons, and so on and so forth, they keep abreast in their specific fields because they are specialists. So they might not have been as updated in the aspect of nutrition, right? Every specialty has a lot of in-depth knowledge. So that's why, okay? So to all our audience, that's why, how come some of your oncologists may be recommending that you can eat an unrestricted diet as long as you follow the protocol, that the drugs that is being prescribed, you can eat whatever you want. That is really not true. And it's not your oncologist's fault. It's because they have not been completely updated with the newest things. So now these are the things that if you just Google, you will know what are carcinogenic. I mean, the whole definition of a food is carcinogenic means that food causes cancer.
Yes,
so obviously,
exactly.
if you are cancer patients, why are you eating a food that is classified as a carcinogenic? And the definition of carcinogenic is it causes cancer. So obviously, it's not true that you can eat whatever you want if you're a cancer patient. So to clear everything up, Doc, why don't we go through what are the foods that are important in cancer nutrition management?
Yeah. Okay, so let's go through one by one. First, the foods that you need to eat first, okay? So in general,
Like,
foods
what's the
that
goal?
You,
What's the goal of cancer?
Okay, so first, the goal of cancer nutrition management is to prevent cancer, stop the progression of cancer, and on some occasions, reverse cancer.
So we can actually reverse cancer just
through
by
nutrition alone.
just by what you eat.
Yeah,
Without
you can actually do it. Okay,
Wow.
but for certain types only, like prostate cancer, if it's diagnosed early stage. Okay, breast cancer if it was diagnosed early stage. Okay, so for those two, and even colon cancer, for those three types of cancer, if it's diagnosed early stage, by changing your lifestyle, you can already reverse it. Okay, but for the other types of cancer, if it's more advanced in stage, then we need the other modalities, the other treatment modalities already. But mainly, the goal of cancer nutrition management is these three: prevent cancer, stop the progression of cancer, and reverse cancer. Okay, now the dosing will now depends on the dosing on where we can
how do we actually get
the results. Okay, so next is the foods that you need to eat. So in general, it's fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. So legumes are beans and nuts, or anything that grows from a stalk, or anything that grows from a pod. Okay, and then whole grains will be examples of whole grains here. Very common here in the Philippines is oatmeal and brown rice. Okay, but I prescribe a very specific rice, no, not brown rice for cancer patients, which is red rice.
red rice for cancer patients?
It has a better anti-cancer profile. Okay, now why am I zeroing in on nutrition always? Because diet constitutes around 30 to 35% of all cancer causes. Okay, it's the majority. It just surpassed smoking. Okay, that's why I'm focusing more on diet. Now, what foods should we avoid? Now, this was the aha moment. This was the aha moment for me when I met lifestyle medicine. The foods that we typically eat every day, no? These are the same foods that cause disease. So I'll give you an example. Red meat. Okay, red meat causes cancer. Yeah, how much? Red meat increases the risk of colon cancer by 12% per 100 grams. Okay?
Per
Up
day?
to 44%.
Is this per day?
No, that's just 100 grams.
Wow.
Okay? That is increase in risk of getting colon cancer by 12% per 100 grams, up to 44%. Okay, so you can just imagine if you go to a Japanese restaurant, order this tonkatsu, 180 grams, you know, just do the math. You'll know how much increase in colon cancer you'll get from just eating that one. Okay?
So what that means, I mean, because the numbers that we see on the screen is like increased by 44%. And some of you might be thinking, I've been eating meat for years. I don't have cancer. So what this really means is, let's say, based on all your life profile, based on your genes and your age group and the pollution, the state of your general health, let's say you have a 10% chance of getting cancer. And if you eat red meat, your 10% chance of getting cancer just became 14 or 15%. That means there's a 44% increase from 10%. Is that the right? So this is just to say, but if you imagine if you're a smoker and whatever, and you have a 20% chance of getting lung cancer, and then you eat red meat as well, your 20% chance of getting lung cancer just became like 30%.
Yeah.
That is huge, right? So all these different factors that Dr. Jansen is going to show you adds up.
So red meat, 12% to up to 44% increase in risk of colon cancer. For lung cancer, increased risk by 24%. For breast cancer, 7 to 13% for every 120 grams.
Wow.
Okay? For non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is an aggressive type of cancer. That's 11 to 32%. For gastric cancer is another aggressive type. If you get this, it's almost a death sentence. 28 to 65% increased risk. For all other types of cancer, it's 15 to 71%. Okay, so that's for your red meat. Next is chicken.
Okay? Oh, chicken, the white meat, we think is better, right?
Yeah. So consumption of chicken increases the risk of thyroid cancer by 74%.
74%. You almost double your chance of getting cancer.
If you consume chicken at least 5 servings a week, okay, that's already associated with an increased risk of bladder cancer among men by 52%. Okay, for prostate cancer, if you already have prostate cancer, okay, stop consuming meat because that will accelerate the progression of the cancer.
Wow.
Okay?
And prostate cancer is actually a safer cancer because it's slow
growing.
So you can have plenty of time to treat it naturally. But if you eat meat, you're going to speed it up. So don't do that. That's a wrong strategy.
So how about for men without evidence of prostate cancer? Okay, so higher consumption of poultry with skin was significantly associated with progression by 2 to 3 times. Okay, so what is 2 to 3 times? That is 230% increase. Okay.
Wow.
So that much. Next is fish. This is the more famous.
We always think fish is safe, right? Fish is safe.
No, it's not. It's actually not. So higher intake of meat and fish was associated with an increased risk of endometrial cancer by as much as 70%. And also, for breast cancer, you increase your risk of by 14% for every 25 grams.
So I just wanted to share with everyone that, this is an interesting, we always thought it was a safe meat. But now with sea pollution, worse than ever.
Yeah.
And at least on land, sometimes we can catch someone dumping toxins onto the land. But people dumping toxins into the ocean in the middle of a sea, nobody knows. And so that risk is pretty high right now. So be careful.
Especially with microplastics as well.
Microplastics as well. So fish is no longer...
It's no longer safe meat to eat.
No longer safe.
So next is, what if I do not eat whatever kind of meat? I'll just go for the eggs.
Eggs, yes.
Okay, so healthy men who consume 2.5 or more eggs per week had an 81% increased risk of lethal prostate cancer compared to those men who consume less than half an egg per week. Okay, so those of you who are eating eggs every day, okay, now you know. All right. So what about for all other cancers? Yeah, significant increase in the odds of getting all other cancers in all sites by 71%. Okay, that is huge. Okay,
That is huge.
Okay, so that's eggs. Next is dairy products. So a lot of you likes or loves to drink milk, loves your ice cream, loves your yogurt. Okay, actually milk can accelerate the growth of cancer. Okay,
Because of the hormones.
because of the hormones, because of the animal protein, and the higher intake of cheese. Okay, increase the risk of breast cancer by 53%. Okay, then those women who have been diagnosed with breast cancer already, okay, if you continue to eat dairy products, then you have a 49% increased risk of dying from breast cancer.
Wow, that is very significant.
Yeah, compared to those who are consuming less than half a serving a day. Okay, then women who consume 1/4 to 1/3 cup of cow's milk per day, you have a 30% increased chance of breast cancer. Okay, so milk is not really a good thing to drink. Okay, for men naman, okay, consumption of dairy products increase the risk of getting prostate cancer by as much as 9%. Okay?
Not so bad compared to
No, not so bad, but
to women.
it's still
But
bad.
still
I mean,
9%.
Still cancer, okay? But now for those who have early stage prostate cancer, no, so skimmed milk, low fat milk consumption is associated with getting prostate cancer as well. So whole milk intake increases the risk of fatal prostate cancer by 49% and progression to fatal disease by as much as 2.2 times. So that is 220%. Okay? So
Wow.
that is really huge. Next, let's go to
Pickle.
vegetables. Okay? So yes, there are certain types of vegetables that can increase the risk of cancer. Yeah, what type? Pickled vegetables.
But I thought like kimchi or this is...
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Yeah, because it's like
previously.
probiotic, diba?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but I was wrong. There was one patient whom I prescribed kimchi. But after learning this, I immediately told that patient of mine to stop eating. I was wrong about that. Because consumption of pickled vegetables, okay, so kimchi, achara, okay, can increase your risk for gastric cancer by 50%. Huge. Why? It's because of the natural toxins that the fermenting produces.
You know,
Yeah, the nitrates.
Doc, there's one thing that's very interesting about all these what's that we hear, like it's a common understanding that we thought kimchi is vinegar.
Yeah,
It's
that's also what I thought.
but I want to share with everyone. Research has shown that the Irish can drink more alcohol than the rest of us,
Yeah.
right? And research has shown American Indians, not your Indian Indians, okay? Your American Indians can smoke tobacco and have a lower risk of getting lung cancer, all right? So that one thing that I think we are so excited about is that, we thought kimchi is good, but we don't have the full Korean diet.
Yeah.
Maybe there is, not maybe, I'm quite sure there's something else that the Koreans eat
Yeah.
in their diet that balances off maybe
The risk.
the
or-
risk from coming from
Yeah,
kimchi
or it's
alone.
just a racial genetic difference. Most Asians are lactose intolerant, but Caucasians, when they drink milk, nothing happens.
So we have got to be very careful with the myths that we hear. So if you want to adopt like kimchi is good for you, then you better make sure you eat all things Korean.
Yeah.
All right, and if you ever take a look at Koreans, you know how much vegetable they eat, right? Even your samgyeopsal is lots of vegetable with one piece of meat, right?
Yeah.
For us here is one piece of vegetable with lots of meat. That's not Korean at all, right? That's
And,
just Filipino
or-
Korean.
Yeah. Or you can make sure that you're Korean.
Or you make sure you're Korean, right?
Yeah.
So I think these are some of the important things that we've got to understand even as we give you guidelines to the food. We have to remember when we hear that one culture takes this is really good. For example, drinking red wine. When I went to France, I was shocked. My host, when we go to work, I don't know how many of you out there, if you do this, that's great. Do you bring a water bottle to work? I mean, do you bring a flask of water to work? When I was in Paris, right, my host, he brought a whole bottle of wine. That's what he drinks for lunch. Okay, for lunch.
Wow.
This is not the 1 cup that we talked about in the alcohol program. That's every day 1 bottle for lunch. That's like their water. So I think their system is different from ours.
Yes, different. We
So-
have the racial difference.
Yeah, so we've got to be careful, but overall, as we've talked about in this segment, it's really across the board. Taking in lots of meats is going to be detrimental to you.
Yeah.
Right? Taking lots of milk and eggs, milk especially, and dairy products is not Asian. You've noticed that eating tofu is Asian. Okay, taking tofu is Asian. Tahu is natural for us. Taking dairy is not.
Based on just the food that we eat, though, we can also get the same diseases that
The Westerners
have. Yeah. If you, a local Japanese, right? If you put that local Japanese to Hawaii or to the US or to the Western countries, that same Japanese will have the same disease as those as the Westerners do. So
Is what you say is really true because Okinawa, they have the longest lifespan.
Yeah.
Almost if you're an old person in Okinawa in Japan, you would likely be older than 95 and very easily you live above 100 years old.
Yeah.
But they found out that if you were born in Okinawa but you moved to Tokyo, your lifespan will drop to the Tokyo lifespan. Okay, because your food and your diet is different from an Okinawan. So really, the foods that we eat, if it can affect something as simple as an Okinawan who moved to Tokyo, will see his life expectancy drop. So let me ask you this simple question. If that's just for life expectancy, is it true that for your cancer, you can eat anything? If just changing an Okinawan diet to a Tokyo diet, your life expectancy can drop 30 years. Now, is that true that if you have cancer, you can eat anything? So I think with that question, I think there are now many questions in your mind. So let's move to our Ask Me Anything segment, and you can ask all you want about what a cancer patient should eat. And if you want to know whether your favorite food is good or bad for you, ask now.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, you are watching actually the 123rd episode of the Simply Nature webinar. So I am very, very sure that you have learned so much from our 2 experts who discuss our topic for tonight. So without further ado, comments are still questions actually are still welcome. So I'd like to call on, of course, our 2 experts who will answer our questions for tonight, starting off with our CEO of Simply Nature, Mr. Shyan Lim, and of course, the President of Simply Health Medical Group, Dr. Jansen Kalalan. Good evening, Sir Shyan, and good evening, Dr. Jansen.
Good evening and good evening to everyone. I just want to say hi to our regular viewers and a big welcome to our new viewers. Hi, Doc. Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you, Shad and Sheila. Happy to be
Yeah,
here.
we were just together 2 days ago at DWIZ, Department of Health. It was a radio
Yes.
program, and we were talking about cancer. So I think they're gonna show another program that we taped that day. We talked about diabetes, and maybe the radio station did ask us to come back. So for those of you in Philippines that listen to DWIZ, I think there's a program in the afternoon called, I know there's a program in the afternoon called Department of Health. All right, they talk about health issues. So please watch us there or listen to us there. So again, a big welcome to everyone.
And congratulations on that radio station invitation or invite as well that you have attended. Congratulations to you both. All right, I can see a lot of questions coming in, so we hope we get to answer a lot tonight. So to start off, our questions coming from Mr. Mario Mariano. What food is perfect for endometrial case?
Yeah, okay, here's the thing, no? For cancer in general, okay? The food that you should be eating are plant foods. Okay, all plant foods. So that would include fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, nuts, and seeds. Okay? So foods that you should be avoiding are foods sourced from animals. Okay? Why? Because animal protein can make cancer grow, especially when the animal food source is also together with hormones. Okay, so that would include your dairy products. Okay, so it's not just endometrial cancer, no. This would also be true for prostate cancer, breast cancer, colorectal cancer, lung cancer as well. Okay, so what I'm saying here is that what you should be eating or your nutritional approach for cancer is not one food alone. Okay? Don't just eat one food, one specific plant food alone. It doesn't work that way. Okay? What you should be doing is to follow a dietary pattern. Okay? Which is what I said. No? So, what again, I'll repeat, the food that you should be eating are fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, nuts, and seeds. Okay? Now, there are specific foods which are more powerful against cancer versus others, no? In general, okay, this can be true, no, as well for all cancers. So these will be cruciferous vegetables, which are your broccoli, kale, cabbage, and cauliflower. Okay, those are quite powerful. And allium vegetables, which are your leeks, garlic, onions. Okay, these foods are in general very good for cancer. Okay.
Would you like to add more, Sir Shyan?
No, I mean, I'm just seeing all the questions. I think we can shoot the answers out like machine gun, Doc.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, I think first, there are quite a few people who asked, made this comment, Doc, you cancel every one of our foods that we eat every day, right? No fish, no red meat, no chicken. One of the viewers said, then in what dog should we be eating? So the answer to that is vegetables. All right. So to all cancer patients, don't be discouraged. Okay, don't be discouraged. It doesn't mean you'll never be able to eat meat again. But during this initial stage, while you're fighting cancer, while you're going through chemotherapy or going through natural therapy, no matter what therapy you're doing, eating meat is not a good idea. In fact, it feeds your cancer. So just for the time being. The other day I was talking on the radio show, I was saying, you know, when you say, I'm going to eat healthy, eat vegetables, it seems like you have to go and especially look for a special like vegan restaurant or vegetarian restaurant. You don't have to do that, okay? You don't have to do that. You can start with going to your favorite restaurant, but look at the menu and order the vegetable dishes, all right? And if your vegetable dishes come with a little bit of meat, take the meat and give it to your lovely wife or your wonderful husband, okay? And eat the rest. There will still be some flavor there. So I think that's a good start, okay? And I think it's sustainable because sometimes, you know, if you're working in Metro Manila, it's quite hard to find a restaurant that is catered for vegetarians. So just go to your favorite normal restaurant and order the vegetable dishes. Okay, so that's a first start. And then try to cook one meal a day at home and cook vegetables with that. Learn vegetable recipes. All right. You don't have to eat Beyond Burger and all the fake meat, fake sausage, no, don't need to do that. Just find vegetable dishes that you like. Doc, there's also another question, very easy to answer. Is magic sarap, Ajinomoto, is all this no cube? Is it bad for health?
It is, it is. So this is what you call as your MSG. Okay. A little bit won't hurt, of course, no? However, too much of it is bad for your health. Why? Because you will develop hypertension from it, no? Why is it so? Because MSG is what? Monosodium glutamate, okay?
Yes.
So the problem there is the sodium. Okay? The limit for patients who are not hypertensive okay, the limit of sodium intake per day is 2,300 milligrams. Okay? If you are hypertensive, then that goes down to 1,500 milligrams of sodium. Okay? So, when you are using Magic Sarap, Ajinomoto, or whatever MSG brand you have there, no, make sure it's fine no to add a little bit, but don't use too much. Okay? So make sure that the amount should be less than 2,300 milligrams. Okay? Make sure that you are within that limit, because if you are consuming too much MSG already beyond 2,300 milligrams, then you risk yourself developing hypertension already. Okay?
I just want to make a comment about MSG. I'm very sensitive to MSG. I don't have breakouts or anything, but I know restaurants' food has too much MSG because my hair stands. Yeah, literally, if I eat like Chinese restaurants are the ones that are most guilty of using MSG. So when I eat anything that has a lot of MSG, I feel thirsty and I feel as if my hair is standing. So obviously, something that has such a strong reaction on me, even though I don't break out or anything, it's not good for health, right? So again, like Dr. Jansen said, try to refrain from that. Now I see another person that says, I love to drink Carabao's milk, okay, because it is, and I think something that's local and fresh and not very commercial, we tend to want to believe that it's good for us, right? But now that I learned it causes high percentage rate of cancer, and also with other foods like red meat and white meat, even fish, he made this comment. So Doc, it really feels as if like all the foods that we eat today are gonna cause us cancer. So can you, I think this question, Amelia, I don't think she has cancer. So maybe she's just a health enthusiast. Can you give us like any good news? Is it okay? How, at what point, if we really find it very difficult to eat only vegetables, what's a good guideline for us to start? To have a so-called healthy diet.
Yeah. Here's the thing, no. So I've already mentioned that plant foods is the way to go. Animal food products causes diseases. Okay. So if you are healthy, you are just trying to prevent disease, no. Or if you have mild diseases like hypertension, but it's not that bad, no, or diabetes or high blood cholesterol, but it's not that bad. Okay, you're not feeling anything. You don't have symptoms. You're just taking a few pills for maintenance. Then this guideline is the way to go. Okay, 95% of the food that you eat should come from plant foods. Okay, and only 5% should come from animal food products. So one example would be a local Filipino dish, no, like pinakbet or chop suey, right? So chop suey it's all vegetables, but we do add a little bit of ground pork, ground beef, or giniling. All right. So with
Giniling.
that,
Yeah.
you add a little bit of taste, but it's not excessive, right? Because you still eat majority plant foods.
Yeah,
Okay?
90% because it's one whole sitaw and just a little bit of giniling on top is really like only 5%.
Correct. So you can approach it that way. And if you are someone who have quite severe cases already of disease, your diabetes is bad. I mean, you're taking a lot of medication, you have cancer already, and you really want to make the most impact in terms of nutrition. Okay, so here's one approach that you can do. No, so how can you transition? First, eliminate the foods that you are seldomly eating already. So, say for example, no, me, personally, when I went vegetarian, the first foods that I was able to remove immediately were pork and beef, because I seldomly eat those two foods anyway. Okay, so before I went vegetarian, the foods that I usually consume are fish, chicken, eggs. So those are the foods that I was able to last eliminate. So after eliminating the foods that I seldomly eat already, okay, what will be the food that I next eliminated? So you have to ask yourself, which are the non-negotiable, which is more practical as well. Okay. So if, say, for example, it's more practical for you to retain fish, So fish is non-negotiable, say for example, then eliminate chicken and eggs next, okay, or dairy for that matter. So that's one way on how you can transition, and also you can use those plant-based meat alternatives, because the plant-based meat alternatives, although they are highly processed, okay, they are still way better than the animal food products. Say for example, a plant-based burger patty is still way better than a uh, beef burger patty, for example. Okay, so that's how you can approach things. However, if you do decide to use plant-based meat alternatives, don't stay on them for too long, because again, they are highly processed. They have no nutrition whatsoever. Okay, you have to eat, or you have to consume plant foods that are very nutritious. So these will be your whole plant foods, unprocessed and unrefined. That's the way to go, so that you can get the most the most nutrition from the plant foods, the most nutrients. Okay.
Doc, there's another question. I think the tonight's question is coming fast and furious.
Yes.
Because because I think everybody, I know how you feel. If you are going through cancer, number one, it's really tough fight. You're probably stressed and worried. And if you're denied the favorite things that you love, it's like there's no joy in your life, all right? So I understand why you're asking all these questions, okay? But let us give you some inspiration and knowledge so that you can make the right choices. Doc, this one is from Grace Molina. She said diagnosed with stage 4 cancer 3 years ago, stage 4 colon cancer. So it's 3 years now. So that's good. I don't know whether she's Grace, maybe you can update us whether how's your condition, right? But oncologist doesn't restrict me of my food intake as long as I do it in moderation. I really need to know if your recommendation will help with her condition, because she's taking cancer pills after her chemotherapy for 8 months. But my observation is that while she's taking her cancer pills, her fingernails are dried up to the point that they detach. Ouch. Gradually detached from her fingers. I'm also drinking every night before going to bed, colostrum milk from cows. Please give me the right food intake I should take and your advice. Can it help me stop taking my cancer pills? So, Doc, I think this one is a good one to digest.
Yeah. My immediate advice for you is to go for a consult. Okay. It seems that you have a lot of ongoing problems, and it would be best if we can talk one-on-one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doc. I wanted to, because there's another person, Amelia Rivera, our avid viewer. She's saying, why are doctors telling us we can eat everything in moderation? And now we're learning from the live webinar. I'm quite upset. She's quite upset. I think she's upset that her doctors told her she can eat everything, and maybe she did, and she realized this was putting her at risk. Because this has got to do with exactly as Grace also, her doctor also told her. Doc, before you answer, I would like to take a shot at this also. So to everyone, when your doctor say you can eat everything in moderation, that's because of their specialization, okay? If you are oncologist, you specialize in using chemotherapy, radiation therapy, your focus is on the cancer tumor. They are not nutritionist experts, okay? How do we know this? Most doctors are not experts in being healthy. Just look at them. You don't see many fit and healthy doctors. They are also on many pills, right? So they're not the right people to ask about these things. Okay? And when they tell you in moderation, because that's a very safe and easy answer, right? Take everything in moderation. In general, that is a good advice. All right, but when it comes to cancer, be very specific. Now, I'm going to give you a clear example you will understand easily. If you have fever today, try eating half a bar of milk chocolate and fried chicken. I guarantee you will not feel well. Am I correct? Am I correct, everybody? If you are having fever or a sore throat, when you're having sore throat, try eating milk chocolate with nuts and raisins. Just try. Okay, right? I mean, if you are a mom and your son has sore throat and fever, will you give him chocolate?
Never.
No. So something as simple as fever. It's not even life-threatening. Chocolate can affect fever and sore throat. What do you think about a disease that is killing you? Is it true that you can eat anything? So I just give you a very simple example. I think the answer is very clear, right? Even when we have flu or we are recovering from a major illness, what is the Filipino go-to food? I think it's the same as Chinese. Goto. Is it gato?
Goto. Goto.
Goto, right? That's your go-to food, diba? It's plain, it's simple, easy to digest. That's the food that you eat that you won't feel bad, you know, when you're recovering from a bad illness, you see? So it's not true that you can eat everything in moderation. So I'm taking TCM right now, and in TCM, they're very specific. No, so if you ever go and see a TCM doctor, they are very, very specific. Across the board for all illnesses, geese, not duck, geese is very toxic. So a sick person cannot eat geese. All right. I believe beef is rather toxic also for quite a lot of illnesses. Surprisingly, pork is not. I don't know why. I wonder if it's cultural doubt. Okay, but pork is seldom restricted. Chicken also less than beef. All right. So that goes to show you that there is a difference with the food that you take. So yeah, Doc, what do you have to say for the person who is very angry? And why do doctors keep telling us we can eat everything in moderation?
Yeah, here's the thing, no, because doctors, in med school, we only have around 2-3 hours of lecture about nutrition. Okay? And
3 hours of
3 hours
conversation. But you
for
are
the
like,
entire, yeah, for the entire medical school.
that's like
And
5 years.
yes,
5 years
okay, that's
of
what's
school,
important
only 3 hours on nutrition.
on nutrition. Yes, so that's what's unfortunate. Okay,
Okay, so
and that's the
everyone, now
truth.
you know.
Okay, yeah.
Now
So
you
here's the thing. And out of those 3 hours, we spend time on studying vitamin deficiencies, malnutrition. And the thing is, nowadays, when you are living in a westernized country, or at least, no, well, Philippines still third world, but at least you're not in a country where famine is still very much prevalent, then you will not find nutritional deficiencies anymore or vitamin deficiencies. Okay? Especially when you're living in the Philippines. The Philippines is a westernized country. Okay, you won't find them. Very seldom do we find malnutrition. Malnutrition we only find in the far-flung areas where food scarcity is really prevalent. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, why do doctors tell you to eat everything in moderation? Okay, because we ourselves don't really know what food to advise, what nutritional food advice we give to the patient. Our knowledge is just as good as the average person. Okay?
wow,
I'll
that
give you an example.
this
Yeah.
is coming from a doctor, who Dr. Jansen, who spent years in med school. It's like a
Yes.
confession. The average doctor knows about only the same as a normal person. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Sir
Okay.
Shyan
Okay.
and Doc Jansen, is it also the same case when it comes to supplements? Is it also the same case?
Yes, it's almost the same as well. Although for supplements, doctors will be more knowledgeable. Okay? Yeah. When it comes to supplements and nutrition and our knowledge, we are more knowledgeable about supplements versus nutrition itself. Okay? The average doctor. If you go and ask a lifestyle medicine doctor or yeah, any lifestyle medicine doctor, no, then that shifts. Okay? Because we
Because that's their
study nutrition.
specialization. That's
Yeah, that's what we study. Yes. And the things that we study are all based on evidences around the world, population studies, a lot of researches actually. So the things that we study are not yet found in textbooks. Okay? So the things that we study will not be found in your clinical guidelines. These things that we say will not be found by the policies that medical societies release. Okay, because those things that I have just mentioned all also based on the things that we read. And policy usually takes quite some time before they can be implemented. However, on the ground, no, like us, individual doctors acting or managing patients ourselves, we can immediately implement these findings from different research articles. Okay, so that's what I'm actually doing right now. So when I summarize everything that I have read about nutrition and cancer, all boils down to one commonality. Plant foods are beneficial, animal food products are harmful. Now, somewhere in between, there will be gray area. Some research studies will say that, hey, it's okay to eat fish. Hey, it's okay to eat dairy. However, again, what I am saying is majority of the guidelines that they recommend. Okay, so in general, all right, the nutritional guideline would be plant foods are okay, animal food products you avoid. Also, there's another one, processed foods. Okay, when the original food, no, say for example an apple, when you process that, turn that into apple juice, that one can also be harmful. So the general guideline is to eat whole plant foods. Okay, so
So,
that's
so we're talking
basically how.
so we're talking about fresh vegetables. You know, sometimes
Yes.
we make the mistake of, for example, potato chips is a plant-based food.
Yes, it's vegan actually, potato
Yeah,
chips, but is it healthy? It's not, right?
is it healthy? It's not
Yeah.
healthy, right? So let's also be fair when we are talking. I think most of us know what is a healthy food. The one that you don't want to eat, that's probably the healthy food. All right. Doc, there's another question. I think it's just in line. Selena Lim is asking. She's HER2 positive cancer, breast cancer, I believe. Oncologists say you can eat anything too. All right. Again, why do the doctors say that? Okay, I just want to share with everyone, doctors and researchers may have very different perspectives, but they vary from individual to individual. Doc, I actually have a friend who is the top researcher, and she owns many patents, okay, for research in medical field. I actually asked her this question. So it's I was so surprised. Sheila, you might be shocked also. As a mother, I think you'll be shocked. I asked her, is prevention better than cure? Her answer, guess what's her answer, Sheila? Yeah, obviously the way I asked, it means it's not what we
It
expect.
means no.
Yes,
Other way
I was so
around.
shocked. I mean, everyone that's watching today, I mean, how many of you think prevention is better than cure? To her, she actually says, no, prevention is not better than cure. If we are sick, we just take because she's a researcher. I think the way she thinks is very
Different.
very different. All right. So I don't know whether today now she's a married and it's a mother. I don't know whether she has changed her mind. When you have a loved one, everything changes, right? And she's no longer a researcher because got married, and I think focusing on being a mother maybe has changed. Okay, so again, to everyone that is a bit upset that why your doctor say you can eat anything, first of all, let's all take some responsibility for our own life. We know what is healthy. When our doctor said that we can eat anything, we usually use that statement to give us a license to eat what we want. Right? You like to eat ice cream. So since your doctor said it's okay, you quickly go and eat, right? So let's not be angry with our doctors also. Okay, so doc, again, she's asking her doctor friends. So it's very interesting. Oncologists say you can eat anything, but her doctor friends, which is other doctors, told her to avoid tofu, eggs, soy and duck meat. Is that correct?
Partially. Okay. For breast cancer, you should be eating soy. Okay. And the
That's
things
the
that
direct opposite. Her doctor friends
Yeah.
are telling her don't eat soybean based products like tofu and maybe soybean milk, or what's that called? What do we love to eat? Tau hui, is it with
yeah,
Taho.
taho.
taho,
Taho.
yeah. So yeah, I also hear many people with breast cancer or cervical cancer, anything to do with women's reproductive. They always say soy is bad for you because of the hormones.
Yeah, so that's wrong.
You clear that
Okay,
up.
outright, that's wrong. Okay, because the estrogen. So the reason why they are saying that you should be avoiding soy when you have breast cancer is because of the estrogen. So they are saying that soy foods contain estrogen. Yes, it does, but the type of estrogen that it contains is plant estrogen, which is what we call as phytoestrogen. Okay, the way that the effect of phytoestrogen on humans is very different from the estrogen that we produce or the animal estrogen. The estrogen that makes cancer grows is the animal estrogen. Okay, your estrogen, the human produced estrogen, and the animal produced or the cow produced estrogen. Okay, cattle based estrogen. Okay, those are very similar, and the effect on cancer is the same. It can make hormone sensitive breast cancer grow. Okay, and for that matter, since we're talking about hormones. Okay, it's not just the hormones; it's also the protein found in milk itself. Okay, because the protein found uh, in milk can stimulate tumor progression. So that specific protein is casein. Okay, so if for all of you who are drinking some sort of meal replacement supplement, some sort of milk or powdered milk for that matter, go and read the ingredients list. If casein is found there, don't drink it because casein will make tumors grow. Okay. Now going back to the phytoestrogen. Okay, the phytoestrogen's effect is actually to block the estrogen from attaching to the estrogen receptor found in your breast cancer cell. So it basically blocks the effect of your estrogen in stimulating the growth of breast cancer. Also, phytoestrogen can help menstruation. If you're already postmenopausal or perimenopausal, that can help um, hot flashes, perimenopausal symptoms. Okay. Another one is that it can help build bones, phytoestrogen. Okay. So it would be in your best interest to consume soy products because in population studies, breast cancer patients who are undergoing chemotherapy, who are eating soy, live longer and they have a better quality of life versus those breast cancer patients on chemotherapy who are not eating soy products.
Okay, Junie, can you let me share screen also? And Doc, just to highlight this because it's so important, because this is something very, very common where I hear from women that are concerned with breast cancer, endometrial cancer, ovarian cancer, because anything to do with female hormones, estrogen, they always think soy is the problem, right? So let me I was just curious. I have a very funny way of trying to understand things, right? I actually, so here it is. Am I? Before you go to, we are famous for our foods. So you go to every hawker center, there is always someone that sells soya bean milk. All right. So those of you who like Mr. Bean, it just came into Philippines a few years ago. It's from Singapore, right? Okay. They sell tauhu and soya bean milk. So I hope this helps you. Here's another interesting one. I was just trying to find. They say Koreans living in the US have low breast cancer rates not dissimilar, that means similar to Koreans living in Korea. Why? Because the Koreans, even though they live in the US, they like to eat soya bean because they grew up eating soya bean, right? So the amount of soya beans Korean eat is a lot, right, Doc? They even have portable soya bean milk machines at home.
Yes, yes. Actually, in Korea, when I visited there, they have free. You know, in Philippines, we have free water, right? Service water when you run.
Yes.
In South Korea, they have uh,
Soya
service soya milk, free soya
Wow!
milk.
You don't have to pay for soya milk.
Yeah, and the soya milk that they give you is freshly ground. Yeah, so when you drink it, it still has some bits and pieces of soybean.
Yeah. You know, Korean restaurants here in Philippines, I know a few that are run by actual Koreans. They make their own soya tofu in their own restaurant. So here it is. So I think we settle once and for all that soya bean is not bad. And the reason why is that the estrogen in there is different from animal estrogen. All right. So if you drink milk and all that, in fact, that's worse than soya bean. Okay. Now, why do your doctor friends give you the advice that you shouldn't eat soya bean? Because they were only studying this thing. Estrogen will make your cancer worse. They didn't go deeper into the nutrition and differentiate between animal estrogen and plant estrogen. So this is very important. Yeah, this is a very important. So that's the reason why your doctor friends logically, when they study in their medical textbook, all right, it leads them to the conclusion that yeah, estrogen, anything that's rich in estrogen is bad for breast cancer. So since soya bean is rich in plant estrogen, they thought that it's bad for cancer. So it's just that they didn't read deeper. All right. So I hope that helps. Yeah, Sheila.
Thank you, sir. Okay. All right, wait. Time to read the question, Sir Shyan. Okay. All right, so the next question coming from Ms. Myrna Manansala. If I use this PPARs, would it not be a complication with the medicine that I am taking? Sir Shyan?
No, definitely not. Doc, even for metabolic syndromes like diabetes and so forth, many of your patients actually combine number one with medicine. And I know for all your chemotherapy patients, and those on hormone therapies, they are actually pretty safe except for a few exceptions, right? But even then, there's no contraindication. It may just make your body very quickly to dispel the chemotherapy, that's all. But it doesn't actually react negatively just because you're so effective at neutralizing everything that you might even neutralize a bit of certain drugs that you use, but there's no contraindication, okay? So the number one is very safe and it's very effective. Doc, I just also want to take the opportunity to say, with so many restrictions on what you should eat and how difficult it is, can I advise everybody, make Simply Nature PIPA tablets your basic nutrition because it is 100% just free dried algae, right? Dried microalgae. So you're eating a plant-based supplement, whole food plant-based supplement. So that helps balance out your nutrition if you're busy working in Metro Manila and you can't eat super healthy every day. All right, that is a very important strategy to use supplementation because of the way we live and work today. Even me, sometimes I'm so busy, I end up eating a cheeseburger, a McDonald's cheeseburger, sometimes you're just so tired, you just want to eat something, get full, and that's it. Sometimes I see Dr. Jansen because he works so hard. I see him at Family Mart buying the rice and what's that called? Vegetarian patty, diba?
Yeah.
But I always joke that's not healthy because it's just deep fried also, diba? Yeah, but sometimes it's just like that. We are so busy, even though we know what is healthy and not healthy, we end up buying food from, how healthy can it be when you buy food from Family Mart or 7-Eleven? Diba? It's not fresh, it's been sitting there on a shelf, but that's just life. So for modern day people, supplements are very important. If you take supplements, that will help you overcome your unbalanced or slightly unhealthy diets.
Sir, it's a good thing that you've mentioned this because school is actually starting this August. And for out there, RP-PARS tablet would be the perfect way to keep their kids' immune system always boosted. So there you go.
Yeah,
All right.
really good for kids. It'll keep them alert in school. They'll do better. All right. So I actually have parents come up to me and say that, thank you, Shyan. My son became the top student because of the PPARs. So I was scratching my head. I'm not sure if PPAR makes you more intelligent, right? But definitely your kids will be more alert in school, and maybe that's why they find it more interesting. They pay attention better because they're alert, and then they do well in school. Doc, I see a question from Selena related. Is it okay to take curcumin tablets, omega fish oil, antioxidant supplements? I assume that's for cancer, stage 3 breast cancer.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine aside from the omega-3 fish oil. Okay? Yeah, because it's just oil, nothing else. Okay? So there's a better substitute for that. Now, for that matter, no, the curcumin, you have to make sure that it has black pepper together with it, or else you won't be able to absorb the curcumin. Okay? Because curcumin is very difficult to absorb. Okay? You have to have black pepper together with it so you can absorb curcumin. If not, then it's gonna be pooped out.
Doc Jansen, just wanted to ask, because some of our viewers may be very how shall we say proactive. They might actually not buy curcumin supplements that are formulated for easy absorption. They might actually go to some healthy organic store and buy curcumin powder on their own. Yeah, because I know some viewers now are very progressive in eating healthy. They really go to a health So when you say black pepper, so can they just like buy black pepper and mix it up?
The black pepper has to be ground as well. It has to be ground. Yeah, okay. And for that matter, no, if you really want turmeric in your diet, then it would be better if you can add it to your meals instead. Okay, if it's added mixed with your meal, you use black pepper as well, then you can absorb the curcumin, no problem. However, the problem there is if you are just taking supplements in tablet form or in capsule form, if there's no black pepper together with it, you won't be able to absorb. Okay?
Everyone, this is very interesting, and this is a very good insight because I had a conference call with one of our scientists who is formulating certain products that we are still in the early stages. So keep a lookout for new products coming from Simply Nature in 2024, right? So curcumin was one of the ingredients, and Doc Jansen was actually in that conference call with me. So Doc Jansen asked this question. Curcumin is not easy to absorb, and the formulator for the supplement said yes, and she added something to help the curcumin be absorbed. So I think this is very important. We know curcumin is good for cancer, but many of us might be taking it and not having great results. Maybe we have some results, but not great results because you're missing the black pepper. So Doc, is it sambong? Is that what Filipinos drink, the turmeric drink?
The tea? No, it's not sambong. Sambong is different.
Okay.
Turmeric is turmeric is turmeric. In Tagalog, it's luyang dilaw.
Oh, okay.
So it's yellow ginger.
So we definitely, I'm sure they don't put black pepper in their hot drink, right? So
definitely, I think it would taste weird.
Okay, but the advice is if you're really drinking that for anti-cancer properties, you should actually put a dash or two of black pepper.
Yeah, correct.
Right. So learn to enjoy your drink with a dash of black pepper. That may make it interesting taste. It's not a bad taste, right? But yeah, at least now you know you get better results, right? Okay, Doc, you mentioned omega. People take omega fish oil because they want the omega-3 and 6s, right? So yes, you can get it from fish oil, but is there a better way to get these omega?
Yes. For omega-3 fatty acids, the highest quality would be coming from microalgae. Okay. So there are actually two. So microalgae would be the best, followed by your seeds. Okay. Followed by your seeds. So seeds such as ground flax seeds, chia seeds, sesame seeds, all have omega-3s. However, the concentration would be lower compared to microalgae. Okay?
Wow. Doc, I think this is really important because our long-term viewer Lily asked, what are some of the spices, since we're going to cook our own plant-based food, what are good spices to add to cooking? First thing that comes to my mind, which I never knew until I met you, is this thing called a nutritional yeast. I never knew
Yes.
there was such a thing called nutritional yeast. All right, so nutritional yeast is something you can buy from your local health shop, organic stores. It's delicious. All right, Doc, what else?
Yeah, okay. There are a lot, okay? If we mention everything, this we won't be able to finish, okay? But I will just mention some foods that you should be eating every day so everybody gets some benefit out of this webinar, okay? So number one would be nutritional yeast. So you're correct. Nutritional yeast looks like Parmesan cheese, okay? It
Tastes like
stays
it too.
very
Crunchy, crunchy, nutty. I don't know
it's
how to describe the thing.
it's flaky. The appearance is flaky. The taste is umami.
Umami. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the what all chefs like to have in their food.
Yes, yes. So when
Like
you add
MSG is umami also.
yes, MSG is umami because of the glutamate.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, benefit of nutritional yeast is that it can boost your immune system. Okay, because it has beta glucans. Okay, which modulates your immune system. Okay, so another one would be mushrooms. The benefits of mushroom is the same with nutritional yeast because both of these foods are fungal in origin. Okay, so next would be cruciferous vegetables, which I have mentioned a while ago. Your broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, and kale. Okay, next would be your ground flax seeds. Ground flax seeds are really very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? Ground flax seeds is good for breast cancer, prostate cancer, colorectal cancer. I usually use ground flax seeds together with my in my meal plan for cancer patients.
And
For
cereal
these
as
three
well.
cancers.
Yeah, you put
Yes.
it in the
Okay.
cereal, oatmeal.
Yeah.
Very delicious.
What else? What else? What else? We also have microalgae. Wait, let me because the list is huge.
Spices. How about cinnamon?
Ah,
Is cinnamon?
cinnamon, no.
Oh, okay.
Cinnamon is good for diabetes, but no effect for cancer.
Oh, no effect. Okay, it's not
Yeah.
bad. All
Oh,
right.
I remember garlic is one. Allium vegetables, garlic, onions, leeks are good. Green onions, yellow onions are good for cancer
Oh,
as
my
well.
goodness. We love to use onions and garlic in our everyday cooking in Asia. So that's great news. These are all great spices to use in your cooking when you have cancer.
Readily
Yeah.
available as well.
Doc,
Yes.
question from Rose. I'm taking Ibrance and letrozole for stage 4 breast cancer. Lab results show elevated SGPT and SGOT. Can I continue taking PPAR's extract and tablets?
Yes, you can continue taking PPAR's extract and tablet. Okay. However, if you're taking Ibrance and you have elevated SGPT, SGOT, please follow up with your onco because this might be a side effect of the Ibrance. Okay.
So in fact, the PPAR extract and tablets is good for you and helping you fight cancer. So the increased SGPT and SGOT is the Ibrance. Right, so go and see the onco and let them know about this. I assume your onco would know because if you have test result, yeah, so you might want to just ask your onco whether he wants to adjust your Ibrance dosage, right? Yes, that's right. Okay, that's a very specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, here's the thing, no? Say for example, it might be a side effect of the Ibrance. Okay. That the reason why you have elevated SGPT, SGOT. However, it might not be the side effect of Ibrance as well. It might be because of your diet. You have fatty liver because of the food you're eating. Okay, so you have to check as well. Okay, if this is one cause. Okay.
Yeah, it could be either one of these causes. All right, thank you. Okay, Rose says thank you because Doc, you really answer her directly. So that's
Exactly.
good.
Doc, how about for low hematocrit and WBC? Is there a natural remedy? Question coming from Miss Nina Pineda.
Yes, yes. For low hemoglobin and hematocrit, so you have anemia. Okay, foods that are good for these would be microalgae and green leafy vegetables, root crops as well. Okay. However, for that matter, these are the foods that you should be eating mostly. However, these foods might not be able to correct the anemia because we have to find out the reason of your anemia in the first place and correct that. Okay? So if you are losing blood, no matter how much you eat these foods, you will not, your anemia will still be there, okay? Because you're losing blood, all right? If you are if you are not eating correctly, then these foods can help, okay? So the root cause of the anemia would still be will have to be investigated, would have to be specified, okay? So you can get properly treated, okay? However, you'll eat anyway, you'll eat, right? So might as well eat the right food. So the foods that I have mentioned are the foods that you should be eating, okay?
Thank you.
I also want to hold on. Yeah, just wanted to highlight for low white blood cell RBC count, PEPA extracts could be something that you really look at. So go for consult with Dr. Jansen. We can literally, okay, why I say this is because that's why we give it to chemotherapy patients. You know, for chemotherapy patients, when one of the common side effects of chemotherapy patients is that it damages bone marrow and it lowers the RBC and the WBC count. So when they take Simply Nature extracts, the RBC and WBC count normalizes, which is why it's such a great support for patients undergoing chemotherapy. So it's another mechanism, but when people have dengue fever and their white blood cell count drops, taking the PEPA extract literally in 4 hours will restore most of the patients who are reporting a white blood cell count drop. So personally, my latest was just this year. I had a patient in Singapore. She is a recurring breast cancer. So the old chemotherapy drug that she used cannot be used anymore because her cancer is resistant to it. So she was using experimental new chemotherapy drugs. And her red blood cell count immediately took a dip when she took those chemotherapy drugs, right? So I guess being experimental, maybe the side effects was a bit more serious. So the moment she went on liquid extract, and the moment she did that, her red blood cell count actually went back up. They were able to continue her treatment. So again, this might be something worth looking at. If you have low blood cell counts, please just arrange for a consult with Dr. Jansen so that he can look at your case more specifically and then give you a solution, all right, so that you can continue the treatments that you're doing.
Thank you, sir. For those of you who wish to have a consult with Dr. Jansen, the link for you to schedule a consult with him is in the description box and also on the comment section. And later as well, I think Dr. Jansen will share where you can schedule a consult with him face-to-face, right? Please stand by at the end of the program. All right, so for the next question coming from Ms. Mirna Manansala, does fasting help in killing cancer? This is a good question.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, fasting can, because with fasting, you'll starve the cancer cells because cancer cells are highly metabolic, no? So they consume energy very fast. Okay, so the moment you stop supplying them with energy, then they will die. Okay. However, the problem with fasting is you also die. Okay, you won't because you're not eating. Okay, so for fasting, yes, it can be helpful for cancer patients. It can also help mitigate the side effects of chemotherapy. However, for that matter, don't do it by your own. You have to be supervised by a doctor. Okay. The articles or the research articles that I have read, though, which investigated the effects of fasting on cancer, the patients were on fasting for 72 to 96 hours. Okay? So that long period of time. So 24-hour fasting will not be effective as well. So you have to have 72 to 96 hours. Now, for 72 to 96 hours of fasting, okay, you have to be admitted in the hospital. Okay? It's very difficult to pull it off at home. Okay,
So-
because you have to be on IV line or else you risk getting low blood glucose, you risk developing complications. Okay.
So I think for the person who asked this question, I'm not sure if you were talking about like fasting as a therapy, in which case Dr. Jansen has clearly shown that we are not talking about skipping one meal, or it's minimum 70 hours. That's like 3 days of not eating. Okay, so Doc, what about general, like intermittent fasting? That means like skipping one meal a day. Would that actually be good in general for a cancer patient to explore?
Not much difference.
Not much difference. All right.
Not
So
much difference.
I think in cancer treatment, if you are weak, make sure you take sufficient meals, right? Because you need to be strong, especially if you're going for things like chemo and so on and so forth, right? So for that, if you're not sure, have a consult with Dr. Jansen, because this is his area of specialty. He'll ask more specific questions. So yeah. So if you're trying like skipping a meal and you're not noticing any big difference, and then what if you're feeling tired? I think taking your meals regularly might be more important to you. Now, if you really reach a point where you are concerned, yeah, make a consult with Dr. Jansen. And one thing I like about Dr. Jansen here for all our viewers is that, Sheila, today our viewers, are they all from Asia, or do we have people all the way from Europe or whatever?
From Malaysia, I know. Another one asked earlier, from the US as well. So,
okay. So here's the good news. No matter where you are, you can have an online consult with Dr. Jansen. And based on the questions that we are answering today, online consult is very useful, because these questions that you are asking, you don't need to be in person in front of Dr. Jansen, all right? Although he's very guapo, so some of the ladies might want to be face-to-face. Just a joke. Hi, Selena, you're from SG. That's so nice. I'm Singaporean, so hallelujah. Okay, I saw a question I want to answer. Someone asked, Johan was asking, will it be beneficial if you take spirulina? Okay, I'm actually an algae expert, so here is my area of expertise. The top two algae being sold in the market is chlorella and spirulina. All right. Spirulina is more nutritious than chlorella, but chlorella has a better safety profile than spirulina. Right. So number one, if you are taking spirulina, please don't buy cheap spirulina. Okay. Spirulina is very nutritious. It's one fantastic food supplement. Okay. The only thing is, it's like eating mushrooms, right? Don't go and buy the cheap discount mushroom. Okay, because what happens in spirulina is that if you buy those like they are not processed properly, and sometimes people like to buy sometimes they buy algae and they think naturally grown and harvested is good. Okay, everyone, especially for spirulina, never buy naturally harvested or naturally grown spirulina. Please do not do that. Okay, I'm going to tell you why. Spirulina, when it grows, the algae that grow together with spirulina, the common ones are neurotoxins. That means they literally are poisonous for your brain, okay? So you don't want, if someone tells you this spirulina was grown naturally in some mountain lake, that is not what you want to eat, okay? Specifically for spirulina, it should be cultured. Okay, it should be cultured. In fact, all microalgae that you eat should be cultured, because you need to separate the algae from other algae species that are not so good, right? It's just like mushroom. You cannot go to your backyard and pick mushrooms. You pick the wrong one. You pick 10 mushrooms. One of them look like a brown mushroom, but it's not, okay? So what happens? You eat it, you get poisoned. Okay, so again, for Johan who asked this question, yeah, spirulina is great, okay, but always buy cultured, all right, always buy cultured. Now, I would personally tell you, between spirulina and chlorella, I will always choose chlorella, because chlorella has a better safety profile, and chlorella has CGF, which spirulina does not have. Okay, nutritionally speaking, spirulina is slightly superior to chlorella. But as Dr. Jansen said, nutrition is not the problem today. Many of us have a lot of nutrition as well, right? So what you really want from microalgae are some stuff that's a bit more unique. So in general, chlorella is superior to spirulina. But if you don't have if you don't have a choice, if you only have spirulina, eat spirulina because it's really good. Okay, it's better to eat spirulina than not to eat spirulina. But if you have a choice between spirulina and chlorella, take chlorella. Now, if you have a choice between chlorella and Simply Nature Pipa tablets, take Simply Nature Pipa tablets. Okay, because we are a unique species, subspecies of chlorella, and we have something that chlorella doesn't have. We have everything chlorella has. We have twice the CGF standard chlorella has, and we have PPAR agonists. All right. Now, if you're a very healthy person, you probably won't see a difference between normal chlorella or Simply Nature chlorella. But if you're sick, then you can Simply Nature PPAR tablets. But if you're sick, then you can see the difference. So if you have diabetes, if you have cancer, then it makes a difference. If you're just a normal healthy person, feel free to get the chlorella that you like. All right. I would recommend Sun Chlorella because it's a very well established Japanese brand. They've been doing it for more than 50 years. All right. So they're safe and they're good. Okay. But if you're sick, please, Simply Nature PPAR tablets is a better version, definitely a better strain. Okay, so I hope for Johan that would help you.
Thank you, Sir Shyan. It's actually a common question, and it's always like a common statement that we are getting compared with spirulina. So that's a very perfect answer to share.
Sorry to interrupt because I saw Selena. Selena, you say you have eczema, all right? Selena, please take Simply Nature PPAR tablets, all right? Or if you can, soft gel capsules. Your eczema will improve very quickly. Okay, basically within a month it should normalize. I have a classmate in my TCM class. I actually talked about PPAR agonists during one of my projects, and then she got the products last week. She's on soft gel, so I've been following up with her. I said, how are things for you? She's a cancer survivor. She said, okay, so far so good. I said, any special reactions? No. But on the 5th day, she said, oh, my eczema is getting better. So she's taking it for anti-cancer, but it's actually solving her eczema. So for Selena, just get tablets or soft gels. It will be a solution for your eczema, and of course for all the anti-cancer benefits as well. So I'm sure either Jen or Sheila will be reaching out to you.
Thank you, sir. And just to add to that, sir, what we aim here is for your eczema not to go back on and on and on. So it's a continuous healing with you. Okay. So next question coming from Ms. Teresa Jimenez: is it okay to eat egg? Quail egg for low hematology result? I am a cancer patient stage 3 and my vitamin is iron.
Yeah, I have to know which specific hematology result. Result. Yeah, because in hematology you have red blood cell, white blood cell, and platelets. So, however, for that matter, eating quail eggs is very high in cholesterol. So, and eggs will not have any effect on your immune system or anemia for that matter. So avoid eating those foods because breast cancer cells can also feed on cholesterol. Okay, so you'll also be feeding your breast cancer. So avoid eating quail eggs and any other eggs for that matter if you have cancer. Okay.
I believe quail eggs are even higher in cholesterol than standard eggs, if I'm not.
Yes, because it's smaller, so the concentration is higher.
Yeah, and it's very rich. You can literally taste how rich it is. So it's very high in cholesterol. So do avoid that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Doc. Another question from Hazel Balani. Hello, my father was diagnosed with hepatocellular carcinoma, stage 4 last month. May tinitake siyang meds for sugar and hypertension. I just purchased earlier PPAR's extract powder. Thank you for purchasing. And okay lang po ba yon with the meds that he is taking? Scheduled for chemo po siya tomorrow. And kaya lang his oncologist rescheduled kasi nagpaubo. She has cough. So it was rescheduled. Medication siya for a week sa ubo, then proceed na po sa chemo. Okay lang po ba yung PPARs? Put on medication for a week because of the cough. So reschedule.
Yeah, I have to know the medications that you're taking. to confirm if there will be any interactions. However, for that matter, the short answer is yes. PPARs can be PPARs is fine. The problem there is which kind of PPAR protocol. Yeah, so it would be better for you to set up a schedule so we can talk. Okay.
Yeah, and I think this is a good point, Doc, that you see a chemo patient, the moment they have a cough or something, they have to reschedule their chemotherapy schedule.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
see, it's so important. It's so important to make sure your body is strong enough. You should be supplementing it, watching your diet. That's why it's kind of strange, right? Again, it just goes to show doctors specialize in their area, but a simple cough can delay your chemotherapy. There's a risk of complication. So the normal advice that you can eat anything in moderation is not really true. So if you're prone to developing cough whenever you eat chocolate, some people, they take a little bit of chocolate, they will cough. Then obviously it's not true that you can even take chocolate in moderation. So this just goes back to the example, what we are talking over and over again tonight. What you eat is important and you have to pay attention to it, especially if you're going for cancer treatment.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to add a little more to that, sir. No? This is the very reason why we actually partner the tablet to the extracts, just so during the repair or during the treatment, there is no interruption that's happening like this. So yeah, there you go. All right, another question coming from Ms. Vanessa. Doc, how long should the aromacin be taken? Thank you.
Okay, aromacin is exemestane. Okay, so exemestane is a drug for hormone treatment for breast cancer. Okay, so the treatment duration for this is the same for tamoxifen, it's the same for letrozole and anastrozole, which is 5 to 10 years. Okay, so minimum of 5 years. Okay.
Minimum of 5 years. There you go. Okay, Doc. Right, another question. Is green barley also good, coming from Vanessa?
Green barley, I haven't found any evidence that it's good for cancer. Okay. I actually give away a list of different plant foods that I have found that has a good anti-cancer effect in all of the medical literature that I can find. Okay, so I always give that away for all my cancer patients during our consults. And so far, unfortunately, barley, I haven't found any evidence. Okay.
So I think this is really nice for those of you who are wondering. When you go for a consult with Dr. Jansen, he actually you can actually tell him what supplements you're taking, and he can give you he can research and share with you whether he has found any what's that called evidence whether your cancer whether that helps with cancer. So of course, if you have interesting articles to show Dr. Jansen that barley can help with cancer, just in your consult, send it to him so he can evaluate whether that research is valid or not, right? Sometimes it's just marketing collateral. It will be good to let him read it as well. And if it's great, then we have another thing to add to the list, good for cancer patients, right?
Yeah.
I think in general, people take barley, if I'm not wrong, is for the high chlorophyll content as well. So
Yes.
yeah. So that has its own health benefits, but not specifically like used to treat cancer, right? Yeah, but it's good for your health.
Sir, one of my patients actually specifically mentioned that they appreciate the answers that you're giving them because they are very honest and they are, not really just focusing on PPARs, but good answers as well coming from supplements. So there you go.
Yeah, okay. I'm also very careful to all our viewers. I know that you came here for answers, so I always make sure that the answers are unbiased, right? Because that's our service to you. Now, if you come to my office, then I'll tell you all about PPARs. Okay? But on this program, we try our very best to be as unbiased as possible.
Thank you, Sir Shyan. All right, I guess this will be our, two more questions, okay, before we say goodbye. Coming from Ms. Carly Garcia, good evening po.
what food to lower creatinine?
Okay, there's no food to lower creatinine. We have to find out why your creatinine is elevated in the first place. Okay, but more often than not, if your creatinine is elevated, you have a problem with your kidney. Okay, so however, it's not just the kidney, no, a kidney problem that can elevate the creatinine. So muscle breakdown can also increase your creatinine. So yeah, if you really want a proper recommendation, a very specific solutions, no, to your predicament, then yeah, better to go for a consult. Okay, but to answer your question right here, no, there's no food that can influence your creatinine level. Okay.
For Selena,
John?
yeah, I mean, I'm just answering. Selena asked a question about any charges for the consultation. Yeah, Selena, I think the conversion is about 25 25 Singapore dollars, so something around that. Quite cheap lang compared to just seeing a TCM in Singapore. Okay.
All right.
How
All right,
should
just one last question coming from Ms. Rowena Obus. Good evening po. My daughter was diagnosed with Wilms tumor last March 2023. What could you recommend for her to eat? She already finished her first cycle of chemo, but we stopped. She's now taking PPARs until now, but last week she underwent whole abdomen CT scan. Sadly, her kidney tumor got bigger from up to 16 cm. What should we do?
Go for a consult. Go for a consult, okay? Because the problem with your daughter is complex. Okay?
Definitely. I've seen how Doc Jansen does his consultations. He digs deeper not only on the medication but also on the treatment that your patients are taking. So for those of you who wish to have a consult with Doc Jansen, please visit the comment section and also the description box. There is a link there where you can schedule a consult with Doc. Of course, again with this death of just before, of course, we say goodbye to our avid viewers. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Okay, I see another few questions which I really want to answer quickly.
Okay.
Number one, Johan was asking, what would we recommend, which Simply Nature product for liver and digestive problems? So this one, please either have a consult or give more specific information to Sheila, and we'll get back to you. So if it's just in general, your liver is not doing well, but you don't really have a liver disease yet, but the diagnostics come out, okay, it's a little bit off the chart, then I would say the tablets, right? But monitor if things don't improve fast enough, if it develops further, then you will have to look into the extracts. The other thing that you can do is just have a consult with Dr. Jansen and bring your lab tests together with you, all right, so that he'll be able to share with you. And since you have some digestive issues, it's great. This is his area of expertise. Right? You can solve two issues at one time. Yeah. And the next one is Noli asks, stage 3B breast cancer, no chemotherapy, tumor cells are normal results in the last time. Okay, do I need to take PPAR tablets or do I need a consultation? I would say for Miss Noli, I see your profile picture. I think it'll be great to go for a consult, all right? Because your cancer tumor cells are doing well. So I'm not sure if it means that you have successfully beaten cancer or not. So, but it's stage 3. Stage 3 is metastasized or starting to already metastasize regionally. So I think it's it's not something you should just ignore. Okay, so why don't you go to our very friendly Dr. Jansen for consult, and so that we know for sure you have peace of mind. And short answer is yes, you should take PPAR tablets. Find out from Dr. Jansen specifically why, but I'll tell you short answer is yes, you should. So if you are not available immediately, you can order tablets first and then go for Dr. Jansen's consult and then see if you need anything else from him. All right. So, but yeah, please, yes, the tablet scope is great for you and probably will help you with other conditions that come with as we move to our second citizenship. All right, which is senior citizenship. All right, so thank you.
Thank you, Sir Shyan and Doc Jansen for answering the questions of our viewers for tonight. I'm sure that they have learned so much. Our viewers are, of course, a combination of give patients who just got diagnosed, patients on treatment, and those on remission. I'd like to ask for your quick parting words for each one of you. Maybe who would like to start off? Sir
I'll
Shyan?
start first because I spoke a
Doc
lot, so I'll
Jansen?
make it short and quick. All right. So to everyone, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for the strong viewership. It's our 123rd episode. We'll be back next Thursday. As you can see, we do answer as many questions as we can. And I hope this is helpful to you. If it's helpful to you, we'll have an interesting topic again next week. Sheila will let you know what the topic is before the end of the night. So wishing you have a great weekend and look forward to seeing you and your questions next Thursday. Doc?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody as well for staying until this late at night, no, for listening and for asking all of those very interesting questions that you've raised tonight. Okay, and also I would just like to invite you for next lecture, no, next week, next week, and it's gonna be a very interesting topic as well. Okay, so for everybody who we've not answered your questions yet, please ask your questions again next week so we can answer them. Okay. So I just want to say sorry for all of those. We haven't answered your questions because of the sheer number of questions that we are receiving. Okay, but rest assured, we would be able to answer them. And for that matter, if I haven't really given you a solution, no, it means that your case is really quite complex. So that will need a proper consultation. Okay, so if you are one of them, if you're interested, then please do so. Just put down a comment or go to our FB page or website. Okay, and then yeah, so that's it, Sheila. So good, thank you, and good evening, everybody.
Thank you, Sir Sean. Thank you, Doc Jansen, for answering the questions. The next topic, I'd like to invite everybody. That's August 17th, Thursday as well, 7:30 p.m. The title is Breast Cancer Natural Prevention, an Evidence-Based Study. So this is a very interesting topic. I'd like you to please encourage you to please share this to your loved ones as well. Everybody, please also do like and follow our page, Simply Nature International, and also Simply Health Medical Group, so that you can always be updated with our online events here in our page. And of course, the promos as well that we are that are ongoing. Okay, all right. For the next okay. See, for those of you who are not yet diagnosed with any illness, okay, in general, health immunity for protection, even if you don't have any serious illness right now, please do hop on with the Simply Nature Superfood Pea-Bars right away, all right? Our products are available here in our BGC office and also available on Shopee and Lazada as well, okay? So your victories against cancer is what keeps us going here in Simply Nature. Because here in Simply Nature, we are always with you from start to healing. Thank you, everybody. Good night, and God bless you all.
Good night.